Hey, what's happening, guys? Hank Saber over at Saber Selections. Thought I'd give you guys my Infernoid deck, and Trey was nice enough to put it on his channel as well. So let's get into the list. Infernoid's been doing a little bit better, starting to top a little bit of like some events, so like that's nice. And also, they have a lot of great cards coming out in August, so they have a bright future, and I think they could be tier 1 to tier 1.5. So I mean, not my main deck that I use, but a deck that I kind of put in my stick in my back pocket for later, sort of thing. So let's see what this could do. To start off the list, we run 2 of the Big Chicken. Heard right on. So basically, during your opponent's turn, you can tribute a card, negate a spell trap, and banish it. So this is a great card against Necros. They don't get decisive armor. They pretty much lose. What else? What else? Oh, heroes, this is really good. Anything that basically revolves around spells, also clay forts. Then I run 3 copies of Infernoid at Tondel. At Tondel is the one that can attack twice. He can help push for your OTK plays. He can make Felgrand, so 3 of that. 3 copies of the Sight for Sorai's White Dragon, the Infernoid Sight Samaz. So Sight Samaz is really good for spot removal, as most of them are. He can attack over something, and at the end, if he attacks over a monster, at the end of the battle phase, I should say, not the end phase, end of the battle phase, you can basically banish a monster or any card. I think it's any card. Banish 1 card on the field. So this could be good for getting rid of your opponent's Trishul, attacking over, say, their, I don't know, their Unicorn. And basically just banish any card on their field. And it's nice, you know, if they have Trishul, you want to get rid of Trishul, because Trishul kind of hurts this deck a lot. Trishul is a devastating card against this deck, so you want to get rid of it. So Sight Samaz is really good for just getting cards out of the duel. And then Infernoid, Harmodike, and Harmodike's pretty good also. Like, the card I went to the most in the few tournaments I've played this deck, because I have a lot of decks and I can't play all of them at the same time, so in the few tournaments that I've participated in with Infernoids, I made this Black Rose a lot. Black Rose was used a lot for basically destroying all of their back row. That was my main concern going into the tournaments that I play this deck, so Harmodike really comboed off well with Raiden and just making your Black Rose play as soon as possible, and then just like OTKing that turn or the next turn. So Harmodike's pretty relevant. It's pretty good. I would definitely run it at 3. And then probably my favorite card of the lower level ones, Antra. Antra is really well used for against spot removal. It's really devastating in certain matchups, except for Necros. Necros, you don't want to give their stuff back. You don't want them let them use it again. You know, that's pretty bad. But Antra is really good against certain decks that that sit on 1 monster. So Antra just turning it back to the end is really good against Burning Abyss and stuff like that. We need that. So pushing back cards, really good. And then 3 copies of Patty Cakes, Inferno Petrulia, and Petrulia is just a great card in general against Rogue and anything that anti-mana, anything that runs a lot of back row. And so, getting rid of pretty much, I guess, macro and stuff like that. So, Petrulia, against the Necros matchup, you probably want to side out 1 or 2, because you're going to side hard against Necros. So, you run 3 of this in the main board. If you run into Necros, just side 2 out. Then for the non-Inferno monsters, run 2 Raiden. Raiden's pretty good for, obviously, rank 4 plays, synchro plays. I don't like to run 3, because 3 is not only cloggy, but if you normal summon this one, and then you reasoning into the other one, you cannot activate the second one's effect. So, for that reason alone, as well as being cloggy, I don't run 3. Also, I don't run the full Lightsworn build that many people use. So, 2 copies of Petrulia. Raiden is very, it's good enough. Given 2 copies of Card Trooper. Again, Card Trooper is really good. You can activate this one twice, because if you summon one, you're reasoning into the other one, you can activate the effect again. So, pretty good. Also, when it leaves the field, or it's destroyed, I should say, you get to draw a card. So it's a pretty good effect. It's like almost like a mathematician in a Dante. So it's, again, really good. And then my personal tech for the main board, I see people running this to the side. I main it, Chaos Hunter. Chaos Hunter's the best card for this deck that you could possibly run in the main. Why? Because your toughest matchups are Necros and Clayforts. Again, Clayforts, it doesn't do much, but against Necros it does a lot. It does basically they can't banish off their Necros mirror. They can't trish you. They can't do certain things that really, it just stops them. It just stops them. It stops Ritual Beasts. It doesn't let them play Yu-Gi-Oh! And so it stops anything that runs Dark Law. And so this card could be devastating against decks that revolve around banishing in some sort of way. So it's very relevant. I would not run this card. I would definitely always utilize this card in some way, whether you side it or main it. I like to main it. So, and Chaos Hunter, again, you can go into different plays with it. You can make Big Eye. You could summon it for reasoning. So it's very worth it. I run 3 copies for the spells. I run 3 copies of Reasoning. Now, Reasoning is obviously your best spell card for now. It basically, your opponent calls a level of you mill until you reach a normal summonable monster. That normal summonable monster is the same level as the level declared by your opponent. It goes to the graveyard. If not, you special summon it. So you want the least amount of normal summonable monsters as possible. So without saying normal summonable again, I'm just going to say 3 Reasoning. I don't run the card that you tribute a monster, because I think that card is terrible in this deck, because there's a lot of times where it's a dead draw and it's absolutely a terrible card, especially if they flip up the vanities after you tribute your monster. It's really bad in this deck. So 3 copies of Reasoning is all you need. That's the tripod. 2 copies of Void Expansion. Void Expansion is actually really good. Most people don't like it. I like it because it gives you something that this deck really needs, which is recursion, and also gives you a guaranteed monster every single turn, with the exception of the turn it's activated. It gives you a flexibility where you can banish your own monsters on your field, which can sometimes help you, and it just is an overall good card. You can also use the Infernoid tokens as, synchro fodder with Raiden. So take that for what it's worth. It's going to be even better when the new support comes out. 2 of the lands of the deck. It's also kind of like a mini Felgrand, and also has a graveyard effect. So again, it's really broken. 2 charge because it's 2. 1 Miracle Dig and 1 Burial for to bring back your cards, and then 1 Allure. Allure is just my personal choice because I don't know what it was that ran this card, but there was a deck that used it that didn't run Darks. Obviously, run 2 Chaos Hunter, but that's it. You don't want to use this with Chaos Hunter. You want to use this for when you have Inferno monsters in your hand, and when you're confident you can draw your 2 cards, and both of them being Inferno monsters. So basically, this is basically like milling 2 when you think about it. You want to draw 2 cards, and you're guaranteeing send them to your graveyard. So be a smart Yu-Gi-Oh player, set the cards that you need, and so use them for later, and then activate this, and hopefully you get some monsters out of it. It actually really helped me a few times. So don't knock it till you try it. Then for the Jin Lock, we run 3 cards. We run Raigeki and 2 Dark Hole. We side 2 more for the Jin Lock. And then for the last of it, we run 3 copies of MST because Vanities stops this deck, and well, you don't want to lose out to it, even though there's only 1 around now. Also some other stuff. Skill Drain, I guess. For the extra, real quick, we're running out of battery power here. 1 Gaia 1 Goyo. That's it for the level 6s. For the level 7s, 1 Scrap Archfiend, 1 Black Rose. And also 1 Dark Strike Fighter. And then for the 8s, we run Scrap and Crimson Blader. That's it for the Synchros. For the XZs, we run 1 Dante, 1 Alucard, 1 Castell, 1 number 80 Rhapsody and Berserk. This card could be detrimental against the Necros matchup. Really, really hurt them. And then Gemini Pro, it's a normal monster. Exiton 9 against when you're behind in the duel. And then Big Eye and then, you know, just like Felground. And then for the side, where is my side? Here's my side. Silly side went missing here. You guys bear with me for a second. So for the side deck, we run 2 copies of Kaiser Coliseum. Kaiser Coliseum has probably never been seen before ever in an Infernoid list, but this card could be actually really good against certain matchups, Ritual Beast and Yosenju. That's what I specifically side for those 2 decks in most of my decks. This deck kind of shuts them out just a little bit. Then we run not 1, not 2, but 3 Shared Ride. Shared Ride is a really good card against many decks that search. I would pretty much try this against every single deck. Pretty much Clayforts, Necros, Heroes, a lot of stuff that search in the meta right now. So, then I run 2 copies of Fairy Wind for your Clayfort matchup. Clayfort is probably your worst matchup. We also do main 3 MSTs. So, there's that. And then 2 Mind Crush. And then 2 Stygian Dirge. 2 Royal Decree, because you don't want to lose out to traps. And then, I believe that's 13. Bad math. And then we run 2 copies of Book of Eclipse, because again, Gin Luck is a thing, guys. This deck completely loses out to it. So, I would certainly put in a lot of cards just for that little thing. So, that's it for the side deck. That's pretty much it for the whole deck in general, to be honest. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys, you know, got something out of this in some way, shape, or form. Feel free to go on my channel, Saber Selections. These are the 2 decks I'm going to be updating next. So, you know, it's a pretty cool channel. I think we have some fun, you know. So, anyway, thanks Trey for uploading this on your channel, and thank you guys for watching, and feel free to sub to Trey's channel as well as mine, and once again, this is Hanging Saber, signing off, goodbye.